I made Aliyah to Israel from Texas in Pesach of 1989. So I guess it was about 1992 that I met my husband. And a year later we had Esther, our daughter, who is now 21. So since we got married, things started to change. I think it was partially social differences, you know, of expectations of what a wife should be. I had fallen into some sort of primitive village. He owned me and he became abusive. And I think this is one of the first things an abusive person does is he tries to cut you off from everyone and just control you. He wouldn't let people call me. I mean, he would say she's not here, wouldn't pass the phone calls on to me. My mail, he wouldn't pass on to me. Then he started to control us through money. He wouldn't shop for anything. And my parents would send boxes of clothes for Esther and for me. I started to feel danger for my life and my daughter's life. As she began to grow up, he would push her against the wall. He slammed her hand, you know, against the table so she couldn't write for a week. When someone is constantly hitting on you, putting you down, screaming at you, and when you think that your child is at risk because of the physical things that are happening to her, it was not human. So I felt my life and her life were at risk. There's no other place to go. I was alone here. I need to be protected. I need to protect my daughter. I remember the first time I went to the rabbinical courts. They said, go back to your husband. They just took it as a joke, you know. She was a baby and they said, go back to your husband. And I just remember putting my head down and crying in court. The judge says I'm making stories? Who's gonna help me now? I had heard about WIZO having this office where they had lawyers that came in and helped women. And we met with her. They cared and they really did something. They were serious. Everyone else was just like processing the paperwork. But WIZO was interested in the person and the little girl with the dog on her hands that didn't know where to go. Suddenly I understood I'm not alone, that I had WIZO as my path. Through the WIZO office, they introduced me to Talia, who was one of their lawyers that worked for them. Talia took on her case. I got Talia from when Esther was 8, and by the time she was 13, okay, there was going into court again and again, paperwork, oath bomb. Talia had to push and push and push. She was not going to stop until it was done. That's just Talia. When Talia called me, said, you have received your get. And wow, finally. I didn't have this dark cloud over me anymore. I totally felt released, free. I could breathe again. There was no other organization in Israel that responded to helping us like WIZO did. There was nobody. They brought us out like from a really bad pit. And we felt like we really had someone on our side that was going to see us through and help us through. And they did. So thank you, WIZO, for all you did. We appreciate it.